I never in a million years would have thought that I would be vegan. I lost like 30 pounds. It's the best thing I've ever done. Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole, and today I'm going to talk to you about how and why I went vegan, which is basically my vegan story. And tomorrow I'm going to talk to you about what it's been like 1 year later, because my vegan anniversary is coming up on, I think, the 9th or the 10th. I need to double check, but I know it's coming up very, very soon, and I thought it'd be fun for you to know what it's been like for me this last year, what I've experimented with, because let me tell you, I've experimented a lot. I tried high carb, low fat, high starch, low fat, where I did absolutely no fat, where I did lots and lots of fat. Just so many different ways of being vegan. I was junk food vegan there for a little bit, and I've kind of really figured out what works for me and my body. So I thought it'd be fun to show you kind of what that journey has been like. But today I'm going to talk about how and why I went vegan in the first place. And let me start by telling you, I never in a million years would have thought that I would be vegan. Like, I started cooking at the age of 4 years old because I loved scrambled eggs, and I hated if they ever got a little bit burned. I called them brown spots. So I decided that I could make basically perfect scrambled eggs without brown spots. So that became my specialty, and I made them a lot, and my love of cooking really grew from there. So I thought that if I was going to be a vegan or even a vegetarian, that I would really be missing out. And I also thought that vegans and vegetarians live these very like restricted lifestyles, and that they were very like controlled, like kind of scary people, and that did not appeal to me at all. So the idea of being vegan never crossed my mind. I actually kind of accidentally became vegan. I was living in Brooklyn, and it was a particularly cold winter, and the winter doesn't end like when the holidays end. Winter ends, it was cold up until like May of that year. It was so cold. So for a lot of those months, like January through April, I was kind of like holed up in my apartment, and I didn't really go out for groceries unless I had to. So I was living kind of like a college student. I ate a lot of like oatmeal and macaroni and cheese and cereal and just like frozen food and that kind of stuff. So there wasn't a lot of balance going on, and I wasn't eating the kind of traditional like animal protein, vegetable, carbohydrate meal that I grew up eating. And so, but I didn't think about it. I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna eat less animals. It was just like, I want mac and cheese because it's cold and you know. But that summer I moved home so that I could save up some money and move back to LA. So I moved to Florida, and my mom has always been a very healthy person, and I started eating the way she was eating, which was kind of like, you know, a normal breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We usually had like eggs for breakfast, you know, maybe like a salad with chicken on it, or a turkey sandwich for lunch, and then, you know, chicken or fish for dinner. And I just noticed that my body kind of felt a little weird because like I hadn't been eating that way. So I just naturally started eating less of it, and because of that, my plate just was full or more full of plant-based foods like vegetables and like grains and rice and potatoes and that kind of stuff. And what happened was I actually started to lose a lot of weight. I lost like 30 pounds. So I was feeling really good, and I was losing weight, and I started to just kind of wonder about being vegetarian or the effects of meat. And I've always been interested in nutrition, so I thought I would kind of learn about that a little bit more. I knew that there were girls on YouTube that were vegan, and I started watching a lot of their channels, and through them I found documentaries like Cowspiracy and Forks Over Knives, and lectures on YouTube like 101 Reasons to Go Vegan, which is like amazing, and The Best Speech You'll Ever Hear, and a bunch of stuff I'll link in the description box for you. But over the course of the summer, I gradually just started watching this stuff and reading articles and really trying to inform myself about nutrition, and specifically plant-based nutrition. I still had no intentions of going vegan at this point, but I did want to learn because I did start to realize that there was a huge improvement in the way I felt, and I was just like losing weight, which was amazing. Around that time, I found a channel called Deliciously Ella, and you guys probably already know who she is because she's amazing. She has a bunch of cookbooks out that you can just get at Barnes & Noble or on Amazon. She has like an app, she has a blog, a YouTube channel. She's amazing, and she's like this plant-based British goddess. She said, it's not about what you are taking out of your diet. It's important to focus on what you're adding to your diet. And so she was saying, like, if you're already eating a bowl of cereal, add a handful of raspberries. Or, you know, if you're eating a sandwich, you know, add some vegetables into the sandwich, or add, you know, a side of carrots and hummus with your sandwich. So it was about incorporating more healthy foods into your diet and not really taking things away or making portions smaller, which for someone like me, whenever I've tried to lose weight, I've always tried to do, you know, tiny little meals and kind of stagger them throughout the day. And I've never been good at that. I've never been successful with that because it's not enough. And because it feels like restriction, and because my body likes to be full and likes to be well nourished. And when I'm restricting everything, I just don't do well. I can't stick to it. I end up binging. And I actually used to have an eating disorder a long time ago. And so for me, I know that a trigger for me is if something feels like if I can't have something, or if I feel restricted, I want it 10 times more, and I will binge and I will just obsess over it, and it causes obsessive thoughts, and I can't do that. So I was becoming more and more plant-based, but I never thought about being vegan for that reason, because I didn't want to have any restrictions. So that whole summer I became plant-based. Okay guys, let's speed this up a little bit. So basically here I'm going on and on about how by the end of the summer I was pretty much plant-based, but I didn't want to be annoying to my friends or family at special occasions. So I still occasionally would eat dairy and sometimes even meat if I was out, but it was like 3 times that I could remember. Like, it was hardly ever. But all 3 times I got a stomach ache, a really bad stomach ache. And by the end of it, I was like, I'm over this. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be vegan, because that way no one can just say, oh, have a little bit of this, or, oh, but you're not fully vegan. Like, you can have some of this. Like, if you're vegan, I feel like it says to the world, I do not eat meat or dairy, period. And so I was just like, I think I'm vegan. Like, I was 97% vegan or something like that already. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. Like, I love being vegan. I want to be vegan. I feel great. I had lost 30 pounds at that point, and I just wanted to keep on going. Something I did when I started out was, instead of making every single meal vegan, I did 1 a day, and then that became 2 a day, which became 3 a day, which became most days of the week I was eating vegan. So I started with breakfast. Breakfast has always been my favorite, and I find that it's definitely one of the easiest to veganize. You just substitute things like milk for almond milk, and you can find lots of really yummy breakfast sandwiches like peanut butter and banana, or different oatmeals, or I made tons of smoothie bowls, and I got to eat really big portions, which I loved, and I felt full and excited to wake up every day and try a new vegan breakfast. I made raspberry oats, I made pumpkin pie oats, I made peanut butter and banana ice cream made out of bananas, I made different types of toasts and avocado toast, and tried all different kinds of vegan cereal, and added berries and molasses and chia seeds and all these fun things, and it ended up being a delicious way to start. So that is how and why I went vegan. It was like an accident, and it was primarily for health. As you'll find out tomorrow, it has become a lot more about animals, but that's kind of what's kept me going. But it started for health, and it started because I was losing weight and I was feeling great, and it was fun to learn about this new thing, and I felt light, I felt energetic, my skin was glowing, and my digestion was like amazing, and that's always been very important to me because I hate feeling bloated and uncomfortable. And so I was feeling really, really good, and that's really how it started. I went slow. I know that some people do it overnight. They watch a documentary or they read something and they go vegan overnight, and I think that's great. I did it slowly. I did it by adding things to my diet, not taking things away, and focusing on all of the amazing things I could have. And what's really cool is it's opened up this whole new world of cooking and recipe creation, where I get to try to not only try all kinds of like plant-based recipes, but I also get to try to recreate things I always loved before into a vegan version, which is sparked my creativity. I've been so inspired this last year. My YouTube channel has totally benefited from it, because it's fun to see how things can be made into a vegan recipe, and also sharing that with you guys. It makes me so happy, because I really wanted to show people that it can be easy, and that it can be affordable, and that it doesn't have to be complicated or gross, or like you only eat lettuce all the time. And so what I was worried about in the beginning about it being restrictive or that it would somehow to take away from my love of cooking, none of those things happened. I don't feel restricted. I see options everywhere. I eat more than I've ever eaten in my entire life. I feel better, I look better, and I'm happier. I'm really happier. There's a sense of peace that you feel when you go vegan from not hurting animals and just putting natural healthy foods into your body. Like, my body feels great. It feels at peace. I feel, at peace, and that I'm not hurting animals, and that my lifestyle is better for the environment, and all of these things. It's literally a win-win-win. And yeah, it's the best thing I've ever done. I'm pretty sure every vegan I've ever talked to says it's the best thing they've ever done. I've never heard a vegan, well, there was that one vegan who wrote a book, but she was only eating 800 calories a day, and like, it was only salad, so that doesn't really count. But everyone else who knows how to do vegan right says it's the best thing they've ever done. I hope you guys will stick around for tomorrow's video, because it is going to be my 1 year recap of what it's been like to be vegan, and I hope you guys enjoy. So thank you for watching and listening, and I will see you guys next time.